Well, I've made a decision. I'm going to cut all this out. See the diameter of the wheel, I'm going to cut it to match it. So what I've come up with is this stupid piece of wood. I was trying to sort of match that diameter or that radius there on there. I can work out how to do it. So I've come up with this. It's basically, well, see, just put it on there like that. And stretch a line. Well, I had trouble doing this little bit, so what I've done there, with a podge, I made that bit adjustable, so they got to be sort of roughly, but I can. Well, that's very roughly. Well, I managed to cut out the arch quite nicely. It's almost a nice curve, millimetre round bar. So I'll try and curve it sort of round there and tack it on. You might have noticed that this little bit here is missing. This part, this the chassis rail. I've cut it all out because it's actually, well, didn't need much cutting out. It's actually rotten. Well, let's get on with it, and I need to make this little piece here that I've cut out. Right, today it's about 33 degrees outside, believe it or not. And there's my dog keeping an eye on me, make sure I'm doing everything right. I've actually set the fan up for myself. Well, I've ended up turning it around for the right dog. Anyway, that's besides the point. I don't need to, because I'm going to put a new chassis leg right in here anyway. But I thought I'd just repair this bit anyway. So unfortunately, I haven't got a lot of steel. A nice bit of steel I've got. I found in the bin. It's a 1.2 or 1.5. I made the old templatey thing with a bit of cardboard. And I've cut this to the right angle there. I can't do any pointing because I'm holding the metal up. I'm just going to bend this underneath, so it goes underneath here. Then I can trim it off to the right size. I don't really want to do any grinding today because it's too bloody hot. So what I'll do, I'll just bend this piece up, and then I've got a cunning plan, because I like cunning plans. I've got a big crate of cider, or a big box of cider, so I'm going to go outside in a minute, bend this, and go out and drink it all. Done. Well, that's all the bottom edge all bent over. I've done it the best I can, and these sort of welding sort of there. I can't point because I'm holding it. That's pretty much it for today. I had a bit of a little round edge going on there, but I managed to get that little dolly in there and give it a little bit of beating. I know you're not even going to see this bit, but let's get it nice. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a beating and round it off a little bit. I quite like that. Well, this is the part of the chassis rail that I cut out. Well, it's cut out and then it fell out. So I decided I was going to make a new one. Now, I'm limited sort of tooling. All I've got really is trusty old guillotine, which I got for 20 quid. Don't think it's even that. It's well, but it cuts alright. Got a sheet of steel, which I've ordered off of Fleabay. And I've also got my Clark little bender. You see it? It's actually quite good in a way. It doesn't actually do sharp curves. And what I've managed to do so far is this. All I've got to do now is some dodgy old welds going on there. I think I didn't have the gas on. Well, this is the final product. This needs a little bit more grinding here and there. But all in all, I don't think it's too bad, is it? A little bit down there. And a little bit there. There's grinding there. I don't think it's too bad considering I haven't got any loads of workshop tools. All nice and clean. Look at that. Right, let's go and see if it fits. Well, I made this years and years ago. I just sort of dug it out. I just rested it on the bench at the moment. I'm going to see. I just want to bend this bar. It's 8mm round bar. I don't know if it's bend it or not. I might have to bolt it down properly. Right, plan B. I don't know if you can see it, but in there I actually opened up. Put a couple of washers in there, just to open up a little bit, just so it stays nice and steady. Does seem to be working. This should be bolted down, but I can't bother. Give it another half turn. Good. Right, so I'm going to try it, see if it actually fits. There we go. Like that. It needs a little tiny bit more. Oh, I think that's about perfect, isn't it? Well, as you can see, I've got the bit of chassis rail I made in this. It's just actually tacked at the moment. I've got to do a little bit of messing about with that little edge there. It's a bit too high, and that one's too low, and that's too high. Oh, little things like that. But all in all, I think it looks really good. Like I said before, I didn't really need to put it in because I haven't put a new chassis rail in anyway. But I want to keep a sort of a, I know it's not a regional part, but it is sort of, that's the way it was actually made. So I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Today, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fully weld it in. So it's quite boring to watch, so I won't record that. I managed to get that piece there curving around. This is a bit of round bar that I bent just a minute ago. Well, it was on the video, it's about 2 days ago now. I've got it sort of to go around in nicely. I think that looks pretty good. The bit I've got to do next, I'm going to cut it off about there. Let's move this light around. So I'm going to cut the bar off about there, get rid of this piece. Now the next bit I've got to try and think about what to do. Leave that alone because you're going to cut your finger. I want to take all this box section out, this piece here. Simple reason, I just want to make it all nice and curvy. So I've got to get rid of the axle stand, move it over. It should be right under there, shouldn't it? We'll see anyway. So the idea is to take all this out because that's the bit where the leaf spring was, or it's still part of it in there. And I'm going to get a bit of plate to go probably down there and up to here. I want to curve it. So I haven't got any sharp edges or corners. Just want to try and make the engine bay as smooth as I can. Or I might even cut that bit right out. I'm not sure yet. But I'll first make sure this bit of round bar is actually sort of where it should be. I'll strengthen that up. Lovely. Really nice now. Well, I'll give you a view from the top while I'm thinking about what to do with this. That's a job to see in this light, but you see roughly what I'm doing there now. Once I get all this piece welded in, I want to put a top plate in there. I did make this piece before. It goes in there, but I'm not really happy with that, so I'll make another piece. I've decided I'm going to use this piece of metal that I actually cut out before. It's a bit thinner, but it's only a cap, so it sort of goes in. I'll show you. Oh. It'll go in something like that. It won't go in at the moment because I've got edge on there. What I've actually done, I've actually cut a little piece off of here. I've got a stainless steel welding rod. I made like a, I don't know what you call it, like a safety edge or a wire joint. on wire edge. Oh, wire edge. That's it. I'm just going to cut that piece off there. I can't really see because on the other end, and I want to use that bit. I was going to use a bit of thicker metal, but I thought, well, it doesn't make a great deal of difference, does it? Because all the strength's already in it. So I'll clean that up, then I'm going to make another little infill for in there. And once I've done that, I'm going to start the welding. It's a lot cooler today, so that should be alright. That's a nice sitting down job, so I can sit down on there. Right, so clean it up and make the other piece. I've been playing around with little bits and pieces just to infill this. I've got a little piece there, sort of cut. I'm going to weld, I'll just show you, it's not to explain really, but I've got a little piece there to blend all this in. So I can weld it up nicely all the way around here and blah, blah, blah. I've got to weld all inside here yet and all along there, so I should weld all that. There's a couple of other bits underneath there. I can't really show you at the moment, but a couple of bits I've missed before, so I'm going to fully weld all this in, get it all looking nice. Now I've got this piece to go, well then I'm going to fully weld this piece in. And this piece goes on the top like that. I'm not going to weld down there yet. I'm going to weld all the way down there, that's absolutely fine. The reason is I think this back piece is going to come out, but I don't want to take it out yet because I'm taking loads of strength away from the car, it might fall apart. Then I've got this piece here, which will go in there, like that. I've got to trim it off first because what I'm going to have to do is weld all the way around here and weld up there, just so this little bit of a round bars in. If I put a camera on, you might be able to actually see what I'm doing. And this piece will go on last. I'll just put it on there like that. Something like that. It's not going in yet because the welds are down there. I might have to trim this off a little bit. Because I'm going to weld right up to there. So that bit of radius might have to come off, and plus it's not very square at the moment, or straight. So that's going to go in there like that. So this whole sort of corner bit is all sort of boxed in nicely now. That bracket down there, which I've shown you before, that is, believe it or not, that's for the bumper. But then again, I didn't really need to do any of this because I've got a big chassis roll running right way down here, but I wanted to make it look nice. So when you look in the engine bay, it looks sort of reasonable. Look, that dent there, I want to keep that because that's part of the car. And then once that's done, like I said before, we're going over to that and I want to sort that bit out. So it reminds me, I must order some rusty stuff tonight. Alright, so that's looking quite nice, isn't it? What do you reckon? Probably a bit over the top really, but I don't know. I suppose if you're going to do a job, might as well make a good attempt at getting it about right. I'm quite pleased with that now. I'm really pleased with it. That metal on the top's a bit thin, but so I think it's 1 mil, but it's strong enough, isn't it? Well, I managed to weld it all in. It looks quite nice now. It's not as neat as what I thought it was going to be, especially sort of long here, but I'm actually going to leave this little bit here, mainly because I've got to cut this piece out anyway. I can get in there easier and blend all this in, and I want to sort of blend all this in as well because that's a previous repair. This piece here, I can't really get it any better, but I'm going to clean it all out. And when I'm ready, when I do the body work, I've said quite a few times before, I should put a thin bit of a filler over that, round here, in this piece here. That'll blend in sort of really nicely. I'm pretty pleased with it, sort of the strongest part of the car now. Managed to get a piece underneath here with a bumper mount. I'm going to have to sort the bumper mounts out again because I just tried the bumper on and it don't fit, so never mind, I'm sure it will. There's a few little arrows you might have noticed, or maybe not. I just really need to go underneath and do some welding. I won't go underneath and show you, but it's quite a few bits of welding I need to do underneath just to finish it off, just to tie it all in. But I think as this is here now, I think this is pretty strong enough. Sorry about the background noise, that dripping is it's pouring out of rain. You can hear it? Yeah. Well, I've managed to get this piece in. Well, I was in before, but I just put a couple of tacks on it and just put a couple of little grinds on it. I might eventually fully weld it in, but I don't want to do it just yet. Just in case I have to cut it off. There's a good chance I might have to cut all this piece out. But that's that bit there, I just need to weld another piece on. And then plan B or plan A, weld underneath here, get it all done so it's all finished. Leave that like that. Then I need to change the axle stand over and I want to cut this piece out. So I'm not really happy with that. It's done really good, does it? And once I've blended all this in, we'll start on the other side. Oh, joy. Yeah, but it's coming together. I'll show you what it looks like from the top, because I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Needs a little bit more work there. All I've used is a die grinder to go over it, but I had to stop using it because it's a bit light down here. The reason I stopped using it is a lot of water coming out from the compressor, so I think it might be full of water, so I stopped using it. Anyway, that bit there looks quite nice, doesn't it? Bit of filler. I don't need a little bit of filler, isn't it? And I've got to do the other side. Not looking forward to that. But that chassis rail there, for some reason, it seems really good. I don't know why that is. I'm sure once I get a grinder to it, it won't be. So I've got to try and make that not the same as that, or similar. Well, that's the bit all cut out. I've just sort of taped it together. I'm just going to cut little tacks on there and just try to see if it fits. That up there looks a bit twisted, but I should get that when I put it on. It's going up a little bit like that. That's not too bad, is it? Well, I just started to grind down the welds. Won't touch it because it's really hot. It's coming up alright, isn't it? Let's grind this one down, try and get it flushed, and do that one. I'll be ready to weld it on. Not looking bad, is it? Well, that's all done. Not too bad, is it? Well, I'm going to spray the inside with some of that weld through primer. Just key it up first. And that's another bit done. Right result. Well, we'll call it the end of the video, I think, because I've got a few bits and pieces to do, but it doesn't actually warrant me filming it. So it's all back in again nicely. I've welded it up and put a die grinder on it to hide the dodgy welds. All this stuff in there has all been treated. Now you can see what it was like. It looks actually rotten, and what it is now. I'm taking that bracket off. And also, well, everything's sort of near enough finished now, I think. Yeah, I put a little bit of rusty stuff on there. This is all finished. This needs all blending in. I'm going to leave this piece as it is, just a few tacks on it, just in case I have to cut it out. Don't make work for myself. I've welded these pieces in underneath here. That looks nice. I've got to finish all this off, dress it all up eventually. That'll be a job for Ron. That's later on. Well, thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you have subscribed, that's even better, because it's very hard doing videos sometimes by myself, because I'm just me out there by myself. I have to keep moving the camera around and whatever. I've got 840 subscribers. And that shows me I've got at least 840 people enjoy watching my videos or interested in my videos for whatever reason. It's just to make a fool of myself. Anyway, I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate the comments, and I do try and answer every comment I can. Well, so far I've actually answered every single one. This is all the work I've done before. I'm sure you've seen it all before. The inner outer seals, end caps, blah blah blah. That is. Right, so I'll say goodbye now, but what I will do, just show you quickly what I'm going to do on the next video. I don't know if you remember before, I did mention that I brought this outer seal from a company and the end cap from another company, and they don't marry up like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get another piece of steel, but I'm going to put another piece of steel in there, something like that, to try and blend it. I did it the other side, I'll show you in a minute. I've still got a bit more work to do on this. I might actually make this again because it's a bit pence, isn't it? Let me show you the other side. Don't know how well you can see that, shaky hands, but that's the other side which I blended in exactly the same, and it actually looks alright, doesn't it? So if I do, keep your hands still, stop shaking. So I can do the other side. That's just a quick walk around the top. Well, look around the top. So we can do that seal over there. Oh, there's another little hole somewhere actually. Where is it? Another little hole. Might as well do that while I'm here. Won't take me very long. So I'll just do that little hole. That's the bit I've just welded in or tacked in just to make it up. It's weird though, when I started tacking it, the old car knife creaking a bit. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again shortly. Bye now.